Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai. And we say, Shema Yasharahla, Yahweh Alhayanawa, Yahweh Akkad. So, hear, O Israel, the Most High is one power. Okay, Kun? 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 Okay, so we stated before that we have the Masharah Yasharahla.com. Okay, so we have the website. You go on the website, and on the website, you will see what? You will see the mission statement of the Masharah Yasharahla. I'm going to read this mission statement right now so that you can understand that this is a nation going forward, the government of Israel going forward. It's an actual mission statement going forward of the Most High and Yahushai, and we're going to do what this mission statement says that we should do. Okay, so I'm going to read it here and just listen up, but you can also go to masharah.com and read it yourself. Okay, it says, all praise to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, HaMashiach Yahushai, Kwam Yasharahla, Hallelujah. Masharah Yasharahla means government of Israel, which is under the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Hashem, HaMashiach Yahushai. Its objective is to build a government structure to ultimately rebuild the nation of Israel, which is Yasharahla, which are the 12 tribes of Israel, which are the so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, Panamanians, Mexicans, North, South, and Central American Indians scattered and dispersed throughout the earth, which means the remnant of our people left in Africa, right? Asia, Europe, Arabia, India, China, Far East, the Pacific Islands, and essentially the four corners of the earth. Come? We're everywhere, brother. The government of Israel is based upon the foundation of laws, statutes, and commandments of the Torah and the Gospels and the Bible given to us by Yahweh Ba'Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai. Our function as a government under Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai is to bring back the identity, language, and heritage, culture, and customs of the nation of Israel. Our primary goal is to teach those individuals whose forefathers are of Negroid and Indian descent, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, their biblical roots and true nationality recorded in the Bible. Okay, come? Our main objective is to learn and practice the biblical tradition of the Hebrew Israelites, also known as the 12 tribes of Israel. This is so that the true people of Israel can redeem their heritage and fully understand their historical origin. Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Come? 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 So let's get the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, him for that. Okay? And like we iterated before, when we start the Masharah Yasharahla, when we started the Masharah Yasharahla, we didn't have this flag when we were doing the summits. We began with the conferences. But as time went, around the third, fourth summit, we developed this flag. As you can see, all nations got their symbol, all nations got their flag, right? So we got a flag. We don't need the white man's flag. Do we need his flag? No. We're a nation in exile. We can make our own flag, right? Under the spirit of HaMashiach Yahushai. Okay? So what do? Brothers in the council got together and said, what? What are we going to call it? Well, let's call it the government of Yasharahla. Government of Israel. Masharah Yasharahla. Come? And then they said, okay, what are we going to put on it? Well, brothers came up and said, let's put the colors of the tabernacle on it. And at first, I think we had one of the colors that were wrong. I think we had like an orange color. But we went to the scriptures, again, trial and error, right? We went to the scriptures and realized the colors of the tabernacle was the purple, the red, and the blue. Come? Read it in Exodus. So we said we had to change it and put the right colors on it. So these are the colors of the tabernacle. And then the brother said, well, what are we going to put in the middle of it? So the brother said, put a menorah, all right? The 7 stages of creation, all right? The menorah, the 7-pronged menorah. Come? And then around it in Hebrew, it says Masharah Yasharahla. Come? And then we just had that. But then I looked at it and we said, something is missing here. Something was missing. And then I went back to the brothers and said, we need the 12 tribes, right? Because it says Masharah Yasharahla. We need the 12 tribes. So The 12 tribes are on it, and the stone, and the color of the stone that represents each tribe. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Zebulun, Simeon, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Asher, Reuben, Naphtali, Issachar. The 12 tribes of Israel. And that's the flag. That's a flag for you right there. Straight from the Most High, Yahweh Barak. That's the flag. And now this flag is all over the place. Brothers got patches. There may be some patches for sale. And most will, the next summit, we're going to have some little flags around on the tables and stuff. Okay? Because why? We're thinking about nationality. See, it's a nationalistic idea. Come to bring it together. So that's why the Most High had us create a flag. So that's by the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And then also, we have what we call the Code of Ethics. So I had the brother send you around the Code of Ethics, this paper here. All right? We probably didn't really have enough for everybody, but there's every summit I give it out. So some of you probably already have 3 or 4 in your house already. But there's about 2 per table, and if you have 2 per table, and you got more than 2 people on the table, just send it around so they can see it. But this is 12 codes of ethics. 12 representing the 12 tribes of Israel. Come? Okay? And the code of ethics is just what? Scriptures. Scriptures concerning the brotherhood. And we call it, it says code of ethics because ethically, we're supposed to deal with one another ethically. Come? What does ethics mean? Moral principles that govern a person or group's behavior. How do you govern your behavior? Okay, you can look that up. How do you govern your behavior? How should I tell us to govern one another? Our behavior, morally, righteously, spiritually. How do you govern yourself? The code of ethics. So the code of ethics teach us how to deal with one another. Brotherhood, unity, courtesy, hospitality. Okay? The scriptures say, let's say this one, code number, code number 11. Look at code number 11. It says what? A new commandment I give you unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men that ye are my disciples, if ye love one another. That's code number 11. And I think it's code number 11 on the paper. Okay, yes, code number 11. So how about that? That's in the scriptures, brother. So we're not going to go through all the codes, but you can look at it on the paper. But they're going to show you what? That the Most High wants to follow his commandments in Yahushua. Okay? And these are commandments. That's the next stage and level that we need to come to. So why don't we stop pussyfooting around here and come on this level Yahushua wants to come to. So that's what the Masharah Yasharahla is all about. So you got the code of ethics. It says, Israelite men of honor. We're talking about being honorable. How do you deal with one another? The civil laws, moral laws. How do you deal with one another? Neighborly laws. How do you deal with one another? The scriptures say if you hate your brother in your heart, you murdered him. The Heavenly Father charged you with murder if you hate your brother in your heart. So how many of you brothers here that committed murder? See? Spiritual murder. Just because you have jealousy or envy in your heart. This is what the Most High is saying. Okay? So all this. So be honorable. And then brotherhood codes of ethics. And then you read the ethics down here, the codes of ethics. Am I my brother's keeper? And Yahweh said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? What did Cain say? I don't know where my brother's at. Am I my brother's keeper? See, that's the attitude the Most High don't want us to have. We're supposed to be our brother's keeper. We're supposed to have our brother's back. We're supposed to care about one another. Okay, that's what I think Yak and I were talking about that. Con? Okay, so that's what we got to start doing to come up with that next level. So that's the code of ethics, the flag, the code of ethics, and the mission statement. And also now, all right, here's what the Most High says, brotherhood. Okay, just the definition, brotherhood. The relationship between brothers. A union, alliance, body, order, community. See, the quality of being brotherly. Fellowship. Come? Fellowship, a friendly relationship among people who share the same interests. Well, all of us in here share the same interest, don't we? So where's our fellowship? So how are we going to talk about isolating one of this camp, isolating itself against that camp, and this camp separating themselves against that camp? Where's the fellowship? See? So this is what this is all about. And then, of course, communication. The process in which we exchange information. See? We need to communicate and network more. I don't care if your camp's in California, the West Coast, and our camp's in the East Coast. We can still fellowship and communicate. Come? Information, knowledge, wisdom, law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Because the Most High gives that camp in the West Coast, the certain talents the Most High gives that camp. On the East Coast, that camp don't have that talent. So that's why I'll call you up and say, what did the Most High show you in that scripture? And then we bring it together. Come? Because there ain't no one school got it all. Everybody, come on. I got 100% truth. No, you don't. You're 100% idiot. That's what you are. You don't have 100% truth. Nobody does. The Most High does not work that way. That's why we were talking about the brother with the phone book. Zaquan with the phone book is telling you everybody's talents. Put your skills down here. Because I can't do what you can do. You can't do what I can do. And so if we come together as a nation, you know how much power that is? And we can help one another. So in Yahushua. So this is what the Most High wants us to do. So now, with that, I just want to bring out something, okay, that's been floating around YouTube and social media and so forth. You might have heard a particular brother had a young woman. She was like 15, 16, 17 years old. This brother's in his 50s, okay? And then, of course, once the brother put it out on Facebook, that he had this woman, and of course, a lot of brothers went back on Facebook and YouTube and condemned the situation. Okay, so the brother's too old, the woman's too young. Okay, we condemn it. Okay, and so brothers, other brothers, other camps started putting out videos. Okay, but the videos weren't to bring understanding to the situation. That these videos were negative. They were negative videos. These videos didn't really help the situation at all. But you're doing it all through YouTube. You're putting your dirty laundry out loud on YouTube. That's just madness, man. Okay? Instead of trying to go to the brother and let him know, which the house of David did. And some of these brothers in the other camps here did also. Went to the brother and said, brother, individually said, brother, you can't do that. Okay? Now you may say, well, the scriptures say that we married young women in their teens and so forth. Yeah, but we're not in our kingdom yet. Okay? We're not in our kingdom yet. That's why the Most High says use discretion. And Zaquan, you're going to get me Psalms 112 and 5. The Most High says use discretion on what you do. You walk around here, you 50-something, the woman is 15 or 16 or whatever. So what can now, in this society, what can they do to you? They can throw you behind in jail and charge you with pedophilia. And you'll be behind bars with Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. What the hell's wrong with you?
He's going to be waiting for somebody in there.
Yeah.
He's going to be mid-time.
Somebody going to be waiting for him in there. Because even in jail, they don't like to hear that. Okay? They don't like to hear that. Rape and all that, and then you're a child molester and so forth. I'm not saying the brother's a child molester, but we're saying you got to use discretion. Okay? You can't talk about out there in the camps, talking about we can have a 13-year-old girl. No, you can't, because you're not having my 13-year-old daughter. You're not having my 13-year-old daughter. I don't care what the hell, who you think you are. I don't care if you said you got 100% truth or 200%. You're not having my daughter boy at 13. And furthermore, the law says you got to go to the parents anyway.
God.
How is the parent going to let you take up their 15-year-old daughter or 14 or 15-year-old daughter? Read the Bible. It says go to the parents. Go to the father. And then the father will decide if he wants you to marry his 15-year-old daughter or not. And then you got to pay him for it. You got to pay him for it too. Haven't you read the scriptures? You got to pay him shekels. So he ain't giving up his daughter for nothing. But like the brother just commented on it, all these old secret marriages, all right? You taking a woman and it's a secret, nobody knows, and then you pop up on Facebook, I'm married. And then you got problems down the line. So you better be careful. Read that up. Tell them where you're at.
Psalms 112:5. A good man showeth favor and lendeth. He will guide his affairs with discretion.
Yeah, see? Your affairs with discretion. So that means you got to come to counsel before you do it. Always, that's why we got a counsel here. And Shalimar, you got Karash. Always come to counsel. So you can say, Karash, should I marry this 15-year-old girl? What do you think about that, Karash? How old are you, brother? I'm 57, about to turn 60. 3 years, okay, about to turn 60. Should I marry this 15-year-old girl? And Karash, what would you say?
Everything you said.
Everything I said, right? Huh?
And the scriptures, I tell them, go and talk to the Father.
Right.
See? Common sense. See, then he would have been saved all that embarrassment. Well, it came out on social media and stuff that the brother was coming to the house of David. Yeah, he was. He was coming to the classes to the house of David. Okay? But once we got wind of it, we said, what, brother? If you don't stop doing what you're doing, you can't come here no more.
Right, that's right.
That's what we told him. You can't come to the house of David no more until you deal with that situation. That's how we deal with the house of David. And we got with the house of David that you got to be with the woman for at least, you got to court the woman for at least 6 months, then come to counsel.
Right.
Let us know something. Now, how we look, he come in there, rolling to the house of David with a 15-year-old woman, and he's damn near 60. How do we look allowing that? Yeah. And then brothers try to say, he's part of the house of David, part of the house of David. Yeah, okay, he come there for classes. He ain't part of our camp.
Right.
But he just come to the classes. He dropped by for the classes. But we did counsel the brother. But young men can tell you, counsel him. Mathakwa counseled the brother. Did he listen? No. So now what happened to him? Now he's all embarrassed. Now he realized he made a mistake. Now he won't show up at the house of David. Before he was coming to the house of David and leaving early. Because he knew what was going to happen. But we had to tell him, you can't come back no more. And Zaquan, get Proverbs 1 and 4. And then there's one more after that, Colossians 3 and 5. And then that'll be it on that. Go ahead, read that out.
Proverbs 1 and 4. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion.
So the Most High say, to give the young man knowledge and discretion. So that's why you come in, and if you got a problem and don't know how to handle it, you go to the council. And you come to the council and get understanding. Because I'm going to tell you something, brothers and sisters, all this, what we hear about the fornication, okay, the adultery. Right. We had to tell some brothers, you can't come to the summit until you deal with your problem of adultery and all that stuff and fornication. That's right. We had to tell them. That's right. Because it's too toxic. Brothers want to kill some of these brothers.
That's right.
And we can't have that here. Because all the summits were peaceful summits. Now they come in here, and the brother that they committed their act against or whatever, that brother's here, and they say, you know, you're going to have a fight break out or something. Right. So we had to tell these brothers, you can't come. That's right. We had to tell about 3 or 4 brothers, you can't come. Okay? We're not going to have that. So it has to be done decently in order. Okay? Discretion. The Most High said, come to counsel first. And when you come to counsel, then the Most High can guide you in the right way. I mean, we all make mistakes. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But come to counsel. And your order, and then your steps to be directed orderly. Go ahead, read that, Karash.
Colossians 3 and 5. Mortify therefore your members.
Mortify your members, meaning your body.
Which are upon the earth. Fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry.
Right.
How about that? Inordinate affection. What is that? Oh, well, maybe I just need a 15-year-old girl. See? Won't you get someone your age? That's an inordinate affection. And then you can add the rest of the inordinate affection, which is homosexuality, understand? Lesbianism, inordinate affection. Concupiscence means lust. Lasciviousness means lust. Understand? So when a brother is going off in his lust, that means he got to be stopped. And so that's why all this came out, because the brother kept on going and don't want to correct himself because of the counsel that he was given. Didn't want to correct himself. So we just want to bring that out. Does everybody understand that? Come? So that's very important. But all this is going around throughout the whole nation. The adultery and all that, brothers taking another man's wife. If a brother got a problem with this man, a brother got a problem with his wife, and then they separate, now here comes the next brother. He coming around, sneaking around, trying to get her. What kind of madness is that? See, leave her alone. They might be able to do what? Reconcile. Come? But no, the next man already got her. Too late. Now she a whore in Israel. See? And you made her a whore. You made her that way. Out of your inordinate affection and strange lust. So leave her alone. So again, that's dealing with what we just read about the definition of ethics. See, proper ethics. Understand? Code of ethics. That's where that lies at. Okay, come? So, Yakanan, you're going to come back up too and read the mission statement for the officers. Okay, and I just want to read this before we finish. Now, every year, every summit, we acknowledge Hebrew Israelite forerunners that were before us. See, for a brother to say that the truth started with their camp like in 1969, and then that was it, which is a damn lie. Okay? It didn't just start in 1969. Okay? We have to understand that. There were forerunners before us, and brothers that knew the Israelites way back in slavery. Come? Way back in slavery. So I'm going to read a few of the ones that knew they were Israelites way back in slavery and were taught that they were Israelites, that our people were Israelites. Okay? Nat Turner, slave rebellion in Southampton, Virginia, 1831. You know he knew he was an Israelite? They say he drew a shield of David before they hung him. He knew he was an Israelite in the sand. Denmark Vesey, slave rebellion in Charleston, South Carolina, 1822. Knew he was an Israelite. He was a preacher. Okay? Gabriel Prosser planned a slave rebellion in Richmond, Virginia, 1800. Okay? Knew he was Israelite. He was a preacher also. Sam Sharp of Jamaica. Slave rebellion in Montego Bay, Jamaica, 1822. That's where we go. When we go to Jamaica, we speak at Sam Sharp Square.
And Barak, they kill him with the Bible in his hand.
They kill him with the Bible in his hand. See? So how many of you going to stand up and, be so into the word of the Most High that they got to kill you with the Bible in your hand? Okay? So that's the sacrifice that they made. They knew they were Israelites, brother. So who's going to sit there and say it just came in 1969 and that's it? And we got the truth and nobody else. Get the hell out of here.
The first Passover.
Yeah, the first Passover. Get the hell out of here.
When have the Passover ever stopped?
Yeah, it never stopped. The Passover never stopped. We stopped it. But it never stopped with the Most High.
From the Exodus.
Yeah. Harriet Tubman. Even Harriet knew she was Israelite. Underground Railroad, understood she was a Hebrew. She had a Hebrew name named Arminta, meaning lofty or noble. She was from the Ashanti tribe from Ghana. And Bonyonanya showed me a text from a brother who said he can help us in Ghana. Ben, you can bring it up. Okay? Your brother just texted. He's watching the summit live right now. And he just texted us. Okay? Toussaint Louverture. The only successful revolution, slave rebellion of all time. That's right. 1791. Toussaint Louverture. These brothers, they knew the Bible, they understood that they were Israelites, all right? Prophet F.S. Cherry, they even call him a prophet, formed an Israelite church in Tennessee, 1866. See, way back in 1866, he had an Israelite church, Israelite school. All right, and then later in 1915, Cherry established the Israelite Church of God in Philadelphia, 1915. We weren't even born in 1915, brother. Okay, so you had Israelite schools all over the place, even by 1915. William Crowdy established an Israelite church in Kansas, Oklahoma, Chicago, and Philadelphia, 1896. In all of those areas, okay, and some of these brothers, those churches are still going, okay? You got Josiah Ford, established Israelite church in Harlem, the Beth Benai Abraham, 1924. Josiah Ford. Okay, come?
I actually know who's Josiah Ford.
Huh?
I actually know who's Josiah Ford.
Anybody know who Josiah Ford is? Y'all read about Josiah Ford? Okay. He was a brother, he was an Israelite. He used to travel around with, what's his name? Marcus Garvey. Okay, he learned from Marcus Garvey, but went further. Okay, and understood that he was an Israelite, that we were Israelites. All right. Yeah. Okay. Rabbi Matthews established the Commandment Keepers, Brooklyn, New York, 1919. Okay, the Commandment Keepers up until late 2000s, they still had their school in Brooklyn, New York, but later on it became dysfunction, and so they sold the building, and then the Commandment Keepers stopped. But still.
Yeah, and Rabbi Matthews was a student of Honor Josiah Ford.
Yeah.
Rabbi Matthews was his student.
There you go. Okay. Okay. Warren Robeson established Israelite church in 1917 called the Temple of the Gospel of the Kingdom, or simply the Black Jews in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Warren Robeson. So you can look all these names up, and you can see that they had understood that they were Israelites. Some of them were not Messianic. Okay, we understand that, but still they knew that they were the real Israelites. Come? Okay. Ben-Ami, African Hebrew Israelites, the Hebrew village in Dimona, Israel, in 1969. Ben-Ami. He took about 3,000 or so brothers and sisters and went straight to Israel. But he went by way of Africa and Liberia. And then along the way, people have passed away and stuff. Some people couldn't make it, so they went back to Chicago. They went back. But Ben-Ami said, no, I'm going forward. I'm going to Israel. How many of us had that kind of faith? He went straight there. Understood that he had to do it or nothing else. And so he had faith in the Most High. Okay? So that's Ben-Ami. Rabbi Bibbins, Israeli School of UPK in Harlem, New York, around 1969. We are products, most of us are products of the Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge. That was what they call 1 West 125th Street. Most of us up here. Okay? And so from there, Rabbi Bibbins, out of Rabbi Bibbins came Masharah Yasharahla, okay, the Israeli School of UPK, Harlem, New York. And we are products of that school. 120, yes, you can.
The reason I mentioned Rabbi Matthews was a student of Josiah Ford. Elders, Masharah Yasharahla, they came out of Bibbins. Right. Now, when they used to sit down and talk to us about the history, they mentioned Rabbi Matthews, but they basically talked a lot about Abba Bibbins because they was with him when he was in the streets teaching. So that's why I brought out Honor Josiah Ford. Right. And Rabbi Matthews was his student, and he passed the torch on to Rabbi Matthews.
Right. And Masharah Yasharahla came out of the Commandment Keepers also. They came out of Rabbi Matthews, the Commandment Keepers. Okay, come? So, with that, I just want to read to you this out of the Josephus, out of Book 4, Chapter 8, Section 7, out of the Josephus. Okay? And it says this: let those that live as remote as the bounds of the land which the Hebrews shall possess come to that city where the temple shall be. That's why Matthias was telling about Mount Zion. See, our duty really, even though we're in our captivity scattered about, we're supposed to come to that temple. All right? Where it's going to be. Where it's going to be, Mount Zion. We're supposed to make it there any way we can, especially on those 3 high holy days. Okay, come. Okay, and it says, and this 3 times in a year. Okay, the high holy days, we're talking about Passover, Pentecost, and Tabernacles. Come. Okay, that they may give thanks to the Most High for his former benefits, and may entreat him for those they shall want hereafter. How about that? What do we want hereafter? Well, we want the kingdom of heaven. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, we don't want no piece of land. I don't want no piece of America. I don't want no property of America. I don't care. Okay, it's going to be destroyed, brother. Okay, so you get property in America, what you going to do with it when it comes time for Yahweh to destroy it? Okay, so forget about it. All right, so we want the kingdom. Okay, and then it says, and let them by this means maintain a friendly correspondence with one another. So we're supposed to be friendly with one another. That's right. Not bickering and murmuring and fighting and hatred towards one another. Okay? A friendly correspondence with one another by such meetings and feastings together. See? Meetings, the Masharah Yasharahla summit, feastings, when we celebrate the high holy days here, we congregate. But a lot of us like to sit on YouTube and watch it and so forth. But no, congregate. Because where 2 or 3 are gathered, that's Yahweh Shai. Come? Okay? For it is a good thing for those that are of the same stock. Now, aren't we of the same stock? We're all Hebrew Israelites. Okay? So no Edomites can come. No Hamites can come. No Arabs can come. No Goops can come. Leave them out. Okay? No coronavirus can come. We don't want that madness. Okay? For it's a good thing for those that are the same stock and under the same institution of laws not to be unacquainted with each other, which acquaintance will be maintained by thus conversing together, right? And by seeing and talking with one another. See? Congregating. You see each other. You're talking to each other. You're getting to know each other. Because we're all familiar, we're all the same stock. We're all Hebrew Israelites. This is what the Yahweh Shai is asking for us to do. Okay? And then it says, and so renewing the memorials of this union, for if they do not thus converse together continually, they will appear like mere strangers to one another. That's what we have now. Come? So we want to keep this going. That's why we have the Masharah Yasharahla summits every, 3 or 4 or 5 months. That's why we do it. Okay? So let's thank the Most High Yahweh for Hashem, HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai. Okay?